Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of In Conversation by Advisor Coach. Today in conversation, our guest is Mr. Deepak Mehta, Head Strategic Alliances with UTI Mutual Fund. But, well, let me tell you, there's much more to Deepak than just being the Head of Strategic Alliances. Deepak actually comes with a very wide and rich experience of 30 years in the financial services and the business management. He's an exceptional motivator and a very, very passionate speaker. He has actually done a lot of advisor distributor meets across the country and investor awareness programs in more than 150 cities. Yes, you heard it right. It's more than 150 cities. He's also part of the AMFI subcommittee for investor education, and he has experience crossing across corporate finance, mortgage business, NBFCs, and of course, portfolio management and asset management. So, welcome, Deepak, to In Conversation today.
Thank you, Suren. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I must say you're doing a great job of promoting this industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, Deepak, when we look at SIPs, UTI Mutual Fund and you yourself have done multiple talks across the country in promoting SIPs, which has become almost a household name now. So how do you feel about it?
Oh, yes, of course. Mutual fund SIPs have become a very popular concept in India. Thanks to all the efforts by all the stakeholders, be it distributors, AMCs, industry body, media, people like you who are promoting on social media. Of course, the efforts from all of us put together. The number of live SIPs in India has grown from just around 60 lakhs 10 years back to almost 9 crores. That's almost a 15-fold jump. The monthly inflow used to be just around 1100 crores, and from there we today are touching almost 25,000 crores of retail money coming to mutual fund each month. Certainly, SIP is a very simple in its construct and yet a very powerful in terms of its result it can produce. It's a great product. I'm grateful to my employer, UTI AMC, which gave me an opportunity to deliver talks to our investors, our partners across length and breadth of this country at a time when SIP was just about getting known. So it's a great feeling today. The fact that so many industries are trying to use acronym SIP to sell their products, be
Mm-hmm.
it stockbroking, insurance, real estate. Every other day, some industries trying to come out with some concept using the word SIP. It gives us pleasure to see that, yes, it's become such a popular product.
True, true, true. So we have often seen that SIPs get started, of course, when investors are looking at the past returns, but the moment there are negative returns, they also stop their SIPs. What would you like to advise such investors?
Of course, we are recently seeing this kind of a trend. To investors who are stopping or planning to stop their SIP because of negative returns in short term, I would say I will personally be very happy if my SIP is giving negative returns in the short term. Yes, I mean it. अगर मेरी SIP in the short term is giving negative returns, I will be happy. Understand this. If your SIP is for 10, 20, 15 years, or even 5 years, and you are seeing negative returns in the first 6 months, it is actually good for your overall returns.
That's right.
You are accumulating units at lower rate. Let me give you another example, which probably is more popular with people. Assuming you as a family are planning to accumulate gold over the next 10 years
Mm-hmm.
for a family wedding, which is likely to happen in 10 years. And if the plan is that each month you would invest same sum of money to acquire gold for the next 120 months. 120 महीने same amount का gold आपको खरीदना है. Now you started accumulating this gold 6 months back. Assuming now the prices of gold are lower, will you be happy or will you be sad? Certainly, you will be happy because
Absolutely.
with the same sum of money, you will be able to acquire larger quantity of gold,
Very true.
more grams of gold. Exactly the same thing works in SIP in a mutual fund. You are
Mm-hmm.
getting an opportunity to acquire gold, acquire units in your mutual fund scheme at a lower cost. So negative returns in short term, especially if you are in the accumulation stage, is your friend. It will help you reach your financial goal faster. Do continue with your SIP. Do not stop SIP. SIP is designed to work in a manner where market goes up and down. In fact, if you take away the down phase of the market, SIP would not work so well. So
Absolutely
please
correct.
continue with SIP.
Yeah, yeah. So we've often seen that SIPs do fail sometime, even in the long term, right? So what good practice would you like to suggest to investors for this long-term journey?
So then I think SIPs do not fail. Yes, sometimes SIP can fail to meet investor expectations, and there could be several reasons for it. One, of course, is the unrealistic expectations.
Hmm,
When
hmm.
something becomes very popular, there are a lot of myths. We have on social media so many different kind of videos being made by people who really don't understand the concept, who are trying to sell it as a get rich quickly kind of a concept, and many investors expect quick returns and get disappointed when
True.
they don't get immediate gains. The impatience can lead to premature withdrawal from SIP. See, the nature of the market is that market is volatile.
Hmm,
The way it works like the sea waves.
hmm,
Imagine, sea waves keep going up and down. Markets also keep going up and down. SIP is designed to take the benefit out of this volatility. So, if investors become impatient and disrupt this compounding process, they miss on the big gains. Otherwise, for a patient investor, SIP would not fail. The primary objective of starting, or the primary advantage of starting a SIP, the number one advantage I would say, is disciplined investing.
hmm, hmm.
We have seen advanced economies where people are not even able to save. The fact that you have developed that discipline, of course, recurring deposit also had the same advantage of discipline, saving, and regular saving.
Yeah.
Added advantage which SIP provides is eliminating the market timing puzzle. A puzzle which nobody has been able to crack. Nobody has been able to time the market. Even the biggest of the geniuses, people who have earned billions in the market, have also failed in timing the market perfectly time and again. Third, it allows you to capture all the low cost averaging opportunities. And that is what I feel is something which we all need to educate people about, that don't miss on the opportunities of low cost averaging. That's what is actually adding to your return and accumulate units for value compounding in the long term. So, my
Right.
simple suggestion is start an SIP with a goal. Do not stop SIP when market corrects, because that's the key part for a big success. Regularly try and top up your SIPs and stick to the goal. And I'm sure you will not find your SIP failing.
Is there any specific SIP date which one should choose, or any day SIP is a great time to start?
Oh, that's a question which has been asked so many times. There are so many myths about it, that an SIP at the beginning of the month works better, or the SIP at the end of the month works better. A weekly SIP would work better, or SIPs on Monday works better, or Thursday works better. Trust me, there are so many studies which have proven that there is no significant impact on the SIP
Hmm.
returns even in 5, or leave aside 10, 15, 20 years, the returns are almost similar, very minor decimal difference, which is absolutely insignificant. So it just does not matter. To give you an example, an SIP for 20 years started on the first of the month in
Mhm.
Sensex itself. Uh, for 20 years gave a 14.55% CAGR when it was done on the first of the month, and you were doing the same SIP on 5th of the month, the returns were just 14.52%, which is just 3 decimal points. No big difference.
No
And if you
big
did it
difference.
on 25th, it was 14.56, just 1 decimal difference. And if you did on another date, it was 14.54. So
Hmm.
effectively, and there are so many studies which have been done on various products and various indices which says that trying to time the market on terms of date or day just does not matter. So my advice is simply focus on time spent in the market instead of trying to time the market.
Sure, sure. No, I completely agree, because this is the biggest question that, first is good, fifth is good, seventh is good, etc. Or there are a lot of SIPs cash flows, inflows which are coming in the beginning of the month. Should I do it a bit later?
Yes.
And and very beautifully explained by you, it doesn't really matter. The differential in return was just 3 basis point. Absolutely. So
Data
Deepak,
suggests that yes, it doesn't matter.
yeah.
Don't
So
matter.
Deepak, someone who's actually missed the bus of starting to invest in SIPs at an early on stage, right? And suddenly wakes up and says, okay, I'm 40, I would like to start my SIPs. So what suggestions, advice would you like to give to an investor who starts at the early 40s to make these SIPs as a long-term wealth creation tool?
So, Ren, my famous quote every time I keep saying is that the right time or the best time to start an SIP was 20 years back.
Hmm.
And the second best time is now.
Hmm.
So I can understand there are a lot of people who have missed the bus for various reasons. Could be personal reason. Personal finance is all about individuality. So there's a possibility people could not have started in time. See the way SIP works, and we have studied this. We always recommend people to start early.
Hmm.
I love to go and talk to a lot of college students or people who just started and who just got their first checks. My suggestion always sorry is that with your first salary credit you should start your SIP.
Hmm.
You should start saving, and not only saving but investing in the market with proper asset allocation in through SIPs. Now, delay is very expensive when you talking of SIP. So delay of every 5 years approximately doubles the SIP amount required to reach your goal. Let me give
Hmm.
you an example. To reach a goal of 1.5 crores at the age of 60 years, assuming a return of 13%, a 25-year-old just needs 1800 rupees a month.
Okay.
25 साल का आदमी 1800 रुपया महीना 35 साल के लिए 60 साल की उम्र तक एसआईपी करेगा तो 1.5 करोड़ रुपया पहुंच सकता है एट 13% रिटर्न. Assuming he delays and instead of 25 years, he starts at 30 years, the amount doubles from 1800 to near about 3600.
Hmm.
The next 5 year delay, it further doubles into around 7,000 rupees.
Hmm. Hmm.
Another delay of 5 years, and it adds to almost 14,000 rupees. And another delay, it becomes, say, roughly 28,000 rupees per month. So somebody can reach the destination through 1800 rupees month, and somebody who's probably 40 years will need 14,000 rupees per month to reach the same destination.
Hmm.
So the delay is expensive when it comes to investment, uh, and that's the reason we always suggest that start now.
Got
Another very important and a very good innovation which we have here out here in mutual fund industry in SIP is something called a step up SIP. So
it.
while you start an SIP, as you grow older, you try and increase the amount each month and not keep the amount static. So you could
Yeah,
increase it by 10,000 rupees or increase it by 10% each month. That kind of works out faster to take you out to your destination or the financial goal.
sure, sure. One just question which intrigues me always is that is there a perfect product for any investor for choosing an SIP?
Perfect product as in scheme.
Yes,
Uh, See, personal finance is very personal.
correct.
Uh, there's no one solution for all. The best thing is to work out on asset allocation.
Hmm.
People need to work on their asset allocation.
Hmm.
Again,
Hmm.
a lot of studies have proven that choice of an individual scheme or an individual stock also does not matter so much. The impact is very minimal. What matters most is proper asset allocation.
Sure.
Stick to your asset allocation. Asset allocation, I explained in terms of our Indian thali.
Hmm.
You cannot be eating only sweets. I love sweets, but I cannot have only sweets as my meal, right? I
Absolutely.
need dal, I need roti, I need chawal, I need achar, I need salad, I need papad, I need curd, I need raita, so many things. That's exactly what is asset allocation. You need to have your money in various asset classes, mainly because not all asset classes move in the same direction. There
Absolutely.
are asset classes which move contrary to each other. So if
Hmm.
there's one asset class which is taking you down, your portfolio down, there could be other one which could be helping in a certain scenario. So we
Hmm.
always advise that there should be, as a proper financial planner or advisor, should sit with the investor and plan an asset allocation And this asset allocation is also should move with times. You could adjust it the way, I mean, last few years equities have done very well, and you need to adjust it to bring it to your asset allocation.
Deepak, our markets are going through a very interesting time right now as we see that for the past 5 months, and like I said earlier, lots of returns of the investors actually gone to negative zone. We talk about a large number of 25,000, 26,000 crores of SIP inflows, but we've seen the net number is around 35%. So what one final message would you like to give to investors, advisors and mutual fund distributors while they're going through a very, very rough patch in the equity markets, particularly for the SIPs?
Sure. Suren, having spent 3 decades in capital market, I can tell you, all of us who have spent time in the markets, we have seen markets going up and down. Equity markets are volatile. It is their nature to go up and down. But in the long term, the trajectory of equity markets is upwards, northwards, especially in growth economies like India. So market keeps giving this kind of an opportunity. One can't time the market. Nobody has been successful in consistently timing the market. Corrections in market provide good opportunity for low cost averaging. And the best part is SIP. And the reason why SIP is popular is because it's designed to work when market moves up and down in the short term.
Right.
I would say it is like a turbine which is designed to capture the wave energy of sea waves and convert it into electricity. Now, imagine if there are no waves, how will you produce electricity?
Hmm.
Same way, if there is no volatility, SIP won't work that well. So, stopping SIP during market falls defeats the very purpose
Hmm.
of starting the SIP.
True.
Units accumulated during corrections actually rewards handsomely in the long run. So my advice and my request to all the stakeholders in the industry, that the responsibility of all of us in the mutual fund industry, especially all the distributors and advisors, in such volatile time increases manifold. We have to educate, we have to motivate and guide investors to continue on their wealth creation journey and ensure that the SIP continues. Do not stop your SIP. Please continue with your SIPs.
Wonderful. So, for our viewers, I think it's very important to understand that when the bulls take a break, it's very, very important that your SIP should always continue. Never let your SIPs take a break. So, well, for the viewers, this is Mr. Deepak Mehta, Head of Strategic Alliances with UTI Mutual Fund. And like I mentioned during his introduction, he's done over 150 investor awareness programs as well as, advisor programs across 150 cities in the country. Talking about SIPs and all these benefits, etc. So it was wonderful listening today through Deepak as to why SIPs, do SIPs really fail? Is there a right date for the SIP? What should investors do, particularly when they are going through such volatile times? So thank you very much, Deepak, for sharing all these insights. And hopefully together we'll see this industry grow much, much furthermore.
Thank you so much, Suren. It's a pleasure talking to you. And yes, we will see much better times ahead. Indian investors have understood the SIP sahi hai, mutual fund sahi hai, and we'll stick to that.
Thank you very much for your time,
Thank
Deepak.
you. Thank you.